It's Dave Joal once again for Punchout Boxing in association with FightZone. Pleased to be joined by the main man, Spencer Oliver, who's captain of Team UK. We've got to hear about this story, how it all came about. For those that don't know, Spencer's going to be captaining the UK team against Roy Jones's, I don't want to say Yanks, but the USA team, October the 5th in
Yeah,
sunny Texas.
yeah,
Spencer, how are you, first of all, on what is a very, very sunny day?
yeah,
How are you?
yeah, Dave. Very well, mate. Very well. Looking forward to it. Like you say, October the 5th, Texas, UK versus USA. Team Spencer Oliver versus Team Roy Jones Jr. It's a great concept. Love the idea of it. When I was approached about doing it, I was super excited. To go up against Roy Jones Jr. and his team. There's always been a healthy competition between UK and USA. Across the board in all sports, especially boxing. I'm quite looking forward to the challenge. Obviously, going over to the USA is going to be a difficult task. Roy's got a good team over there. I know that they're putting a good team together, and we are as well. Actually, this concept is about 50-50 fights. Kids putting their O's on the line. There's no foregone conclusions in this. So yeah, looking forward to it, and my team is looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be good fun.
Did you know Roy prior to this? How did this come about? Because I spoke to Dennis and he said, look, he had the idea like a Ryder Cup tournament prior to
Yeah.
Eddie and Frank taking hands and breaking bread. But Eddie and Frank beat him to it. So did you know Roy prior to this? Or how did it come about?
I've known Roy for a few years now, actually. So yeah, we're familiar with each other. We've worked together in the past on various, fight weeks and different boxing events. When Roy was working with Chris Eubank Jr., I got to know him and done a couple of things with him. So yeah, it was good. We was up in where was we Leeds last week. When we done this announcement, and yeah, it was good. Roy's looking forward to the challenge. He loves coming over to the UK. I love going over to the US. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be something that is going to continue. We've got some great ideas. We've got some big plans. We've got some big platforms that are interested in broadcasting. So yeah, the future of it is exciting for sure. And I think it's really healthy. This sort of team competition, it adds something new, a new yeah, it adds something new to boxing. And I think it's healthy, this team spirit, where all the guys are there and they're egging each other on. It just brings out the best in them. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We really are. And Roy knows he's got to come back to the UK and do it all over again. So yeah, it's something that's going to continue. And we've got some other ideas as well, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the 5v5, but we've got loads of other ideas that I won't let out the bag yet, but it is going to be something that will continue, and I think it will be a huge success.
I can imagine it will be. I mean, you just alluded to one thing. After Texas, you might replay it back in sunny Britain. Yeah, is that the plan then?
Absolutely. I've got to give Roy Jones Jr. the chance to, avenge the loss that he's going to receive out there in the US. When we're away on away soil. Yeah, so Roy's gonna have that chance to sort of put the wrongs right or put the rights wrong of the last one.
Just
Or the
just
wrongs
looking
right.
at
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
no, you got there. You got there. In regards to the fighters, Spencer, who are the fighters on the card? Have you made the announcement yet in terms of who's going to be on your side? And I know Roy's mentioned one or two people, but
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm not sure that I'm in a position to. I know who they're talking about. There is going to be a few changes to the team. There's some good fighters on there. I will say that some good young prospects, unbeaten prospects on the team, and I know Roy's got a good solid team as well. This is all about sort of like the grassroots, really, like these kids getting the opportunity. They're going to go on a big platform, obviously, because myself and Roy are going to bring a lot to the table. We've got a lot of media coverage going across this as well, and this whole team spirit, team event type thing is always good, and people have always got an interest in that. So I know Roy has got a solid team. I know that. I've seen some of the names that he's got on the team, and I have as well.
yeah, I mean it's going to be fantastic. I mean, if you look at what Eddie and Frank did, I know Dennis saying he had the idea before, but that's kind of opened up the doors for more of these events, hasn't it? In terms of transatlantic fights, in terms of tournaments, because we kind of missed that, didn't we? When Eddie used to do and Frank did the sort of prize fighter tournaments, it was a bit of fun.
Mm.
Casual fans got involved, and I think it's coming back now, isn't it, Spencer? Because we missed that for a bit, didn't
Absolutely.
we?
Absolutely, I think that this sort of competition is very healthy for the sport. It creates a lot of interest. People do genuinely enjoy that. It puts something new on it. It's a new look. The whole 5v5 thing that Eddie and Frank done was fantastic. It was great to be a part of that. I worked on that as well, and I think that it shows that it's a changing of the times. It's just sort of reinventing boxing in many ways and adding something different, a different dimension to it, which is always healthy, so yeah, I'm looking forward to being a part of this. And like I say, some of the plans that we've got moving forward, some of the plans that Dennis has got, yeah, are exciting. It's exciting time for boxers. It's not just the guys at the very, very top that are doing
Yeah,
this and getting the opportunity to do this. It's like these young kids as well, the prospects, the grassroots. The ones that are willing. I love that when prospects sometimes are too protected with what we're doing here and what we're trying to achieve. Well, no one's getting protected here. You're getting put in. Like it's that. They're serious 50-50 fights, and that's always healthy. And when a kid is putting his all on the line, it sort of brings something more out of them. It's like they really that team spirit is a big thing.
yeah. I mean, who better to have in both corners than the great Roy Jones Jr. and the great Spencer Oliver as well? You both, let's just say, you both know boxing inside out.
Sure.
Um, Speaking of which, as well, look, I just wanted to get some predictions for you because we've got some massive fights in
Hmm.
the upcoming weeks. I mean, Saturday night, Del Boy Chisora takes on the formidable Joe Joyce. I mean, Joe unfortunately came up unstuck against Zile Zhang twice, but he had
Yes.
that win over Cash Ali. How do you see that one going down? Do you think it's a foregone conclusion for Joyce, or do you think Del Boy still got stuff there left in the tank?
Well, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion for Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce will obviously start the favourite, but those back-to-back losses to Zele Zhang were a big knockback for him, really, Joe Joyce, because he was in prime position. He was in WBO interim champion. He was there in position to be getting that world title shot at some point. And unfortunately, Zhang beat him and then beat him more continentally the next time. So that was very, very unfortunate for Joe and a big setback. He come back against Cash Ali. Didn't look particularly good either against Cash Ali. He won that fight eventually in the 10th round. But Del Boy's just one of those old school fighters, isn't he? That, just he loves a tear up. And that's exactly what it's going to be on Saturday night. Stylistically, it's going to be a barnstormer. We're covering it. Talksport are covering it, actually. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in the studio with Joe and Derek tomorrow, but I think they're both great ambassadors for the sport. We know what they're going to bring. The first bell's going to ring. There's no feeling out process. They're going toe to toe. I suppose the $1 million question is Derek Chisora's, what is he, 40 years of age now? Joe Joyce is 38, 39 years of age. So, time's ticking for both of them. But Derek Chisora's got more miles on the clock. That is for sure. But you can't write old Del Boy off, mate. He just keeps coming and he'll stand there and he's heavy handed. Interestingly, Alexander Usyk said it's the hardest puncher he's ever been in with was actually Derek Chisora, which is high praise for Derek, to be fair, because he's been in with some big names. But yeah, it's one of those ones that we're all going to have an opinion on who's going to win. Joe Joyce should win. Stylistically, he's big, he's strong, he's physical. He will take the fight to Derek. Derek will take the fight straight back to him. So you lean towards Joyce, but you can't write Derek off. That's what's so interesting about this contest. It's a great fight, to be fair. It's a great fight for both of these guys because for the winner, he sort of puts his name back up there and in the mix, especially Joe Joyce. But for the loser, you wonder where they're going to go. There's a lot on the line.
Yeah, no, there certainly is, and I think it's going to be one of those intriguing fights as to who controls the first 6 to 5 rounds, in my opinion. But
I'm
obviously,
not sure he gets into the next
you've
six,
got a
if I'm
more
honest.
stronger opinion.
I think it's one of those
And
fights
then I
because of
just
the
wanted your
styles. I
opinion
think it
on.
could be over after six.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's one of those. I mean, it's someone could land and it could just be lights out. To be fair, I mean, they're both heavyweights. That's the interesting thing about the heavyweight division.
What?
Um,
Absolutely. Look, it's about. punch output, and both guys will have a huge punch output. Derek Chisora will come. He's made no secret of it. He says, "Listen, I'm meeting him head on in the centre of the ring, and I'm letting the bombs go. I haven't got that name War for no reason, and that's exactly what I'm bringing on Saturday night." Joe Joyce has a formidable output for a heavyweight. He's big, physically strong, and he will go as well. So I'd be surprised if we see these guys go into the second half of the contest. One of them will win inside. You probably lean towards Joyce to be the favourite, but you can't write old Del Boy off.
No, you can't, and it's going to be very intriguing. And then the last prediction I just wanted from you is Joshua versus Dubois. I don't know if you saw some of the images that were floating about yesterday. I don't know what to make of those in terms of the gym session with Anthony Joshua's nose popped and so on and so forth. But that's just the gym, I suppose, isn't it? But should we read too much into that, Spencer?
No, no,
Is,
that
is
just tells you
right?
that just tells you that he's working hard, he's taking things serious, and these things in the gym when you're having hard sparring sessions. If anything, you should read into that. Well, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because it shows that he's taking it serious. Daniel Dubois is young, he's hungry, he's improving all the time. If anything, I think the loss to Alexander Usyk was really the moulding of him. That was the one where he sort
Yeah,
of made him believe in himself maybe a little bit more because he was doing well in the contest. All right, he ended up getting stopped. He blew a gasket in the end, but going away from that, teaming up with Don Charles has been a big bonus for him as well. Don Charles has not been working on the physicalities; he's been working on the psychological side with Daniel, making him believe in himself. And I think we've been seeing that in recent performances, especially against Hergovich last time out. It was a good performance. He showed that he belongs where he is. He's a big threat to Anthony Joshua, and Joshua knows that. And Joshua
mm,
will leave no stone unturned. He's the ultimate professional, and he'll be working very, very hard, in there. And hence why you see, pictures emerging of, popped noses or whatever. That's not a bad thing. That just means that he's grafting and he's working hard. He knows the magnitude of this contest. He knows what's on the line. He knows the importance of it. He's trying to become a three-time world heavyweight champion, and he's left no stone unturned. It's a great fight, to be fair. Joshua has to start the favourite. Of course he does. Experience will play a big part. He's on a roll at the moment. Teaming up with Ben Davidson's been a good thing for him as well.
yeah,
It's reinstalled the confidence that's been missing out of Joshua's performances. And you look at him and the momentum that's with him at the moment, and that experience, you have to lean towards Joshua to win that fight. And it could go early as well because Daniel will go out there and Daniel will take the fight to Anthony Joshua. Mate, he won't freeze on the occasion. They're super confident. Team Dubois are super confident on this one. They fancy the job, but they know that they can't outbox Anthony Joshua. He's going to have to go out there. It's about who establishes the jab first and who gets in range with that right hand. Either man could knock each other out. It's heavyweight boxing, but it's a great fight. I lean towards Joshua to win and probably win inside the distance, but I like it, mate. I'm not writing Daniel off either.
yeah. Yeah, it's a great fight. And then just very finally as well, Spencer, um, whoever wins between you and Roy Jones, you're still mates at the end, aren't you? I mean, it's gonna be banter all around, isn't it? In terms of
Uh,
you're gonna take the piss and everything like that. Yeah,
Listen, bragging rights, mate. That's what we've got on the line here for me and Roy. It's bragging rights, and whoever loses, of course, the loser will have to buy the other guy a drink at the end of the night, I suppose, and then we'll be talking about rerunning it. That's for sure. It's gonna be a fun little journey, actually.
absolutely brilliant. Make sure you tell Roy as well. You almost have forgot if he loses. Yeah,
Absolutely, 100%.
brilliant. Spencer, all the best, mate, from Punch Out Boxing and Fight Zone. We will catch up with you soon, no doubt. We're there on Saturday night, so we'll say hello.
I
But
look
let's
forward
see
to
who
that.
wins. All the best, mate. Good stuff.
Cheers, Dave. God bless, mate. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. See you later.